Have a good match. Good match. Good match. You control.
Welcome to the ITTF Pro Tour event in Morocco, and we're joining a women's singles quarter-final, a match between Kasumi Ishikawa from Japan and Jeon Ji-hee from Korea. The Republic of Korea coach there giving advice to the teenager, Jeon Ji-hee, 18 years of age, now a French umpire will take charge of proceedings. The players will have a 2-minute practice prior to this quarter-final commencing. Opportunity just to get the shots into the groove. A little bit of light footwork. Firstly, the umpire will check the players' rackets. Make sure the thickness of the sponge and rubber is within the regulation 4mm. 2mm for the sponge, 2mm for the rubber. And indeed, check that the rubber is an ITTF approved rubber. That's exactly what the umpire is doing there. The ITTF list of approved playing surfaces. Now checking the bat of Ishikawa. There we have our assistant umpire, Marley Carway.
We do it toss. Red or blue? Red for you? Blue for you?
The umpire now spinning the coin to decide red, which player has the choice of service or to receive serve.
It's fine. Okay, 2 minutes.
And the players start their 2-minute practice.
The pink. Yeah. No, do it under the machine.
Both these players teenagers, Ishikawa and Jeon Ji-hee, both 18 years of age. Both left-handed topspin players. Ishikawa in red on the right of the screen. Currently ranked at number 9 in the world. Has been as high as number 8. And her opponent, Jeon Ji-hee, number 82 in the world. Has been as high as 72. In good form, Jeon. She won the under-21 singles in Japan a few weekends ago. She seeded number 8 here, and she already has beaten the number 12 seed Necula from Romania fairly comfortably, 4-1. And indeed in Almeria earlier this year, in the ITTF Pro Tour event, she beat Veronika Pavlovic and her teammate Lee Un-hee, 2 highly ranked players, but then came across the same opponent as today, Kasumi Ishikawa. And it was Ishikawa who won fairly comfortably 4 straight games. So certainly Jeon Ji-hee will be looking to improve on her performance in Almeria earlier this year. Ishikawa made the last 16 in Rotterdam a few months ago at the World Championships, losing to the winner Ding Ning. Lost fairly comfortably, but Ding Ning was in great form, and of course, as is now firmly in the history books, went on to win the women's singles title. Ishikawa made the quarter-final of the World Championships in Yokohama in 2009. Runner-up in the World Junior Championships in 2009.
We have to wait for TV.
Iishikawa on screen there, already the winner of one ITTF Pro Tour title. Indeed, that title was won here 12 months ago in Morocco. So not only is she looking to add another title
Nabil?
to her CV, she's also looking to regain the title she won 12 months ago. She made the semi-final a few weekends ago in Japan. She lost to Ai Fukuhara, her teammate, who's ranked one place above her on the World Championship. In the world ranking list, I should say. Both players will stay fairly close to the table, looking to get first with the strong topspin.
Okay.
So the 2-minute practice is now up.
Women's quarterfinal, Ishikawa
And
from
it's
Japan,
Iishikawa
from Korea.
of Japan to serve at the start of the first game. Best of 7 games.
Ishikawa to serve, level.
So the first player to win 4 games through to the semi-final.
1 love.
The high toss serve, throwing the ball very high in the air. Ball comes down a little bit quicker. Possible to get a little bit more spin on the ball, a little bit more variation. Again, the high throw up. This time Iishikawa missing the forehand topspin. She'll be disappointed with that one. Fairly straightforward by her high standards. And now it's Jeon of the Republic of Korea to serve. Good backhand down the line from Iishikawa. Both these players staying close to the table. They're going to battle it out, backhand to backhands, forehand to forehands. Both looking to get in with top spins. Good topspin from Iishikawa. Iishikawa, a member of a very strong, young Japanese squad. It's coming through. Whether they'll be able to challenge the Chinese in the forthcoming Olympic Games in London. Difficult to say. The Chinese completely dominant recently at the World Championships in Rotterdam. But certainly the Japanese squad, one of the strongest in the world. Iishikawa, Fukuhara, who's ranked at number 8. Hirano, winner of this year's Spanish Open, and she's here in Morocco as well. And several other very exciting players. 5-4, Iishikawa leads. Second serve in the sequence. No spin on the serve. Jeon lifted what she thought was backspin off the end of the table. 2-point lead for Japan's Kasumi Iishikawa. That's excellent table tennis by both players. Iishikawa just that little bit more consistent, both playing the angles well, taking the ball early. Iishikawa now leads 7-4.
4.
Again, Ishikawa serving with the forehand from the backhand side of the table. Looks as though she's going to do the high throw up. There it goes, high into the air. Long and fast into the backhand of Gion. Top edge of the bat, flies off the end of the table. Ishikawa now leads 9-5. Good backhand down the line from Gion. Took Ishikawa by surprise. A desperate lunge across the table.
Nine, 7.
Again, Gion just catching Ishikawa out wide to the forehand. Ishikawa now with her 2 serves to come. Excellent play, again by both players in fairness, but Ishikawa just that little bit strong in the counter-attacking situation. Three game points, 1 save with that excellent flick down the line from Gion. She still faces 2 game points, but has the advantage now of her 2 serves to come. Good tactics from Gion, just took the pace off the ball a little bit. She rises if she goes hard. At the moment it's Ishikawa who's the favourite. She varied the pace well. 2 game points saved, 1 remains. 9-10. Again, throwing the ball up in the air, Gion. I think she was slightly fortunate there, didn't quite get the contact between bat and ball that she would have liked. Just apologised for her good fortune, but it's now 10 points each. Alternate serving, first player to win 2 clear points.
10-11.
Ishikawa apologising for her good fortune on this occasion. The ball just caught the top of the net. Ishikawa now with her 4th game point. Gion did well there, she was at full stretch. Managed to make a fairly strong forehand topspin. 11 points each. Ishikawa now with her serve. Gion there misread the spin completely. Having said that, what an excellent serve from Ishikawa. Normally she's been going long and fast into the backhand. This time she went short to the forehand, no spin. Gion lifted what she thought was backspin way off the end of the table. 5th game point for Ishikawa. And there it is. Ishikawa punches the air with delight as she takes the first game, 13 points to 11. She led 10-7. 11-10. But then managed to seal the first game with her 5th game point. Both players now back to their respective corners, taking advice on board from the coaches. Both left-handed, as we can see on the screen there, both content playing backhand to backhand. Players now get 1 minute's advice from their respective coach. But it's Ishikawa who's back to the table first.
Umpire. Umpire.
She'll certainly be pleased
Umpire.
with her performance in the first game. Kept her nerve under pressure. Won 13-11, but it's Jeon Ji-hee from the Republic of Korea to serve at the start of the second game. A ball from the neighbouring table flew into the court. That's now been returned. And Jeon's ready to serve at the start of the second game.
1 love.
Excellent start by Jeon. Just sense that she's clawing her way back into this game. She played very well from 10-7 down. Saved 4 game points and has started this second game very impressively. Again, both players staying close to the table, battling it out with counter topspins. And again, it's Jeon who comes out on top, 3-0. Ishikawa now with her second serve in this sequence of 2. That's a wonderful forehand topspin down the line from Ishikawa. Step round. Always difficult to tell where the left-hander's going to place the ball when they get in with their forehand from the backhand side. On that occasion, it was down the line. 4-1. Republic of Korea lead Japan. Took the pace off the ball. Jeon Ji-hee threw it up into the backhand of Ishikawa. The variation in pace winning the point. Players are entitled to use a towel every 6 points. And that's exactly what Jeon Ji-hee did on that occasion. Quite warm in the arena. Again, another example of Ishikawa playing very strong from the backhand side with her forehand. Quick on her feet to step round. But she's 3 points adrift. Second serve coming up.
Five, 3.
Ishikawa playing into the body of Jeon. Five, 3. Jeon in the lead, now has the advantage of her 2 serves to come.
6, 3.
Good flick out wide to the forehand of Ishikawa. It just caught the edge of the table, slightly fortunate for Jeon, but nevertheless, she leads 6-3. Excellent serve. The push was mid-table from Jeon. Ishikawa able to get in with a strong forehand topspin into the body of the Korean player. 4-7. Just a little bit more elbow and wrist going into that shot from Ishikawa. A little bit more pace on the ball. That's 2 points out of 2 with the Ishikawa service. Now Jeon Ji-hee with her two serves.
Stop. 7-5.
Deep in thought, Kasumi Ishikawa. And that's 2 out of 2 for the Korean player with her serve. Ishikawa now serving, but she's 4 points behind, 5-9.
Leg 5-9. Six, 9.
Excellent long fast serve into the body of Jeon. Ended up having to play from a very cramped position, lost control. But having beaten Jeon 4-0 at the Spanish Open early this year, it looks very much as though Jeon's going to take this second game. It's 4 game points. And that's a superb forehand on the diagonal. Out wide to Jeon's forehand from Ishikawa. And the backhand topspin off the end of the table. And Jeon takes the second game 11 points to 7. So that's 1 game each. Best of 7 games, of course. First player to win 4. Honours shared after the first 2 games. Just a quick look at one of the points from that second game. Good flick from Jeon to win the point. The Ishikawa service. There she is, deep in reflection, listening to the advice very attentively from her coach. And there's Jeon Ji-hee, teenager. Both players now back at the table, ready to start the third game. Confirmation of the situation so far, 1 game each.
Okay.
And it's Ishikawa to serve at the start of the third game.
To serve, level. One, lock.
High toss serve, and then played long and fast into the backhand of Jeon. Push return was a little bit high. Ishikawa in with a strong topspin. Will she do the same again?
Let 1 lock.
Certainly the high toss serve, throwing the ball up quite high. 6-7 feet up into the air.
Lock 2.
Ishikawa followed in with a forehand topspin, took it early. Ball caught the top of the net. Japanese player very quick to apologise for her good fortune. Jeon now with her 2 serves. Jeon will be a little bit disappointed with that forehand topspin. Ishikawa had to return the ball quite soft to the middle of the table. Ishikawa just playing a little bit more positive, particularly on the forehand at the start of this third game. 4 out of 4. Ishikawa now with her 2 serves to come. Good long fast push return from Jeon. Good use of the elbow and wrist, pushed it out almost on the white line. Clever variation from Ishikawa, just threw the ball up a little bit higher, took the pace off the ball. No spin, no speed. And it was clever variation that won the point. 5-1. Ishikawa in the lead. John now with her 2 serves.
Five.
What a good comeback by John. She's certainly not afraid to take Ishikawa on with the counter-attacking. She's not being forced away from the table, holding her ground on the backhand and the forehand. 5 points each. Backspin serve into the forehand of Ishikawa. She didn't lift the backspin sufficiently. Excellent touch from Ishikawa. Soft hands, delicately returned the ball. Very tight over the net. Ishikawa now with her 2 serves to come. Very good serve there. Kept it very tight over the net. Second bounce would have been on the table. John wasn't sure whether to play it over the table or let the ball come long. Great anticipation from John. Ishikawa spraying the ball around the table with that forehand topspin. John was equal to it. And now the player from the Republic of Korea has her 2 serves to come. A look of frustration about Ishikawa. She did well. She took the pace off the ball with her backhand, created the opportunity to make the strong forehand topspin. Mistimed the shot, made the error. And now it's John with a 2-point lead. And so John now with 3 game points. What an excellent comeback. She was 3-4 points adrift at the start of this 3rd game. She now has 3 game points. And what a rally. Both players holding the ground, spraying the ball around the table. Ishikawa saves 1 game point, but she needs to save 2 more.
Ten-eight. 11-8, game to Jeon.
Jeon takes the 3rd game, 11 points to 8. And certainly the teenager ranked 82 in the world. She's playing against a player some 73 places above her on the world ranking list. And at the moment, it would take a brave man to back against her. Certainly, Ishikawa on screen there with her back to us is in serious trouble. John has been equal to the pace and the angles that Ishikawa has created. Whether we'll see Ishikawa look to play more shots like the one we just saw there. Strong forehand topspins, particularly from the backhand side. But we can see there, even though Ishikawa won the point, Gion is not afraid. She's not backing away from the table. She's holding her ground.
Time, please.
So the umpire calls the players back to the table for the start of the fourth game. Jeon Ji-hee leads by 2-1. Lost the first game 13-11. Then managed to win 11-7 and 11-8. And indeed, it's Jeon to serve at the start of the fourth game. Punches the air with a clenched fist. Ishikawa, the long fast push, paid dividends, took Jeon by surprise. Ishikawa now with her 2 serves. Again, it's the shorter serve. Second bounce would have been on or around the baseline. Ishikawa not sure whether to play over the table or let the ball come long. Of course, the danger is if you let the ball come long and the second bounce is on the table, then you've lost the point. Good forehand topspin from the backhand side from Ishikawa. 3-1. Good start by the teenager from Japan. Again, it's that strong forehand topspin from the backhand side, this time straight down the line. Excellent long fast serve deep into the backhand of Ishikawa to win the point outright. Again, 6 points have progressed, and Jeon uses the opportunity to wipe her brow with the towel. Ishikawa to serve.
5-2.
Certainly her best shot, the forehand topspin from the backhand side of the table. It's the one that's won her 3 or 4 points already in this fourth game. She leads 5-2. Slightly fortunate Ishikawa, but she now has a 4-point lead. Jeon with 2 serves to come, 2-6 down.
Seven.
Ishikawa now leading 8-2. She's played a couple of very strong forehand topspins in this fourth game. Probably just unnerved Jeon a little bit, but it certainly didn't on that occasion. That was an excellent backhand straight down the line. Good angle. Ishikawa not able to get bat on ball. 8-3. 2 points against the service. Gion now has her 2 serves to come. A little bit of topspin on the service. And Ishikawa failing to get her bat over the ball, and indeed Ishikawa calling a timeout. 8-5 in favour of the Japanese player, but she was 8-2 in the lead, 3 consecutive points for Gion. And I suspect the Japanese coach a little bit nervous that Gion was on a run of points, the momentum quite clearly in favour of the player from the Republic of Korea, and there she is on screen. And the Japanese coach and Ishikawa will be hoping that this 1 minute break just changes that momentum, gives Ishikawa a chance to compose herself, go back to the table and break the run of points.
Time.
The umpire calling time, both players coming back to the table. I'm sure Ishikawa will be looking to get in with that forehand from the backhand side if she gets the opportunity.
5-8.
So it's Gion with her second serve in this sequence of 2. 5-8.
Net. 5-8.
Ball just caught the top of the net. A let serve. Well spotted by the umpire.
8-6.
Excellent point, backhand to backhand. Both players keeping to the diagonal. And it was Gion who came out on top. Always good psychologically to win the first point after a timeout. Ishikawa now with her 2 serves.
8-7.
And that's 5 consecutive points for Gion. Good counter topspin from Gion. Ishikawa threw caution to the wind, went for the forehand topspin down the line. Gion was equal to it. And the score is now level, 8 points each. What an excellent comeback by Gion. Ishikawa must be wondering what she has to do to win a point. That's 7 consecutive points for the player from the Republic of Korea. She leads 9-8 and by 2 games to 1. And there is a look of defeat about the #1 seeded player here in Rabat, Morocco. She's the holder of the title. She led 8-2. She's lost 8 consecutive points, and she now faces 2 game points.
9-10.
No spin on the serve. Gion lifting what she thought was backspin. She lifted off the end of the table. So 1 game point saved, but 1 remains, and indeed Ishikawa has broken that run of 8 consecutive points for Gion. But the forehand topspin goes off the end of the table, and Gion takes the 4th game, 11 points to 9. And Ishikawa will be very disappointed. She led 8-2 against the player some 73 places below her on the world ranking list. And she let that lead slip to lose 11-9. we can see how Gion at the far side in black, not backing away from the table, pinning Ishikawa down on the backhand side of the table. So what a turnaround from Almeria in Spain, April of this year, where Ishikawa won in 4 straight games. And now, indeed, Ishikawa has to win 3 consecutive games if she's to progress through to the semi-final here in Rabat. Jeon Ji-hee, of course, only needs to win 1 of the remaining 4 games. Or 1 of the remaining 3 games, I should say. So the players back at the table for the start of the 5th game. And it's Ishikawa.
5th game, Ishikawa to serve, Lavo.
Who will serve at the start of the 5th game.
One, love. One all.
Honours shared after the first 2 points, 1 point each. Jeon now with her 2 serves.
One, two.
Ishikawa slightly fortunate there. The ball caught the top of the net, trickled over, and despite a desperate lunge from Jeon, it was point to Ishikawa.
3-1.
The tactics were good, the long fast serve, but the execution wasn't. The ball off the end of the table. 2 points against the serve for Ishikawa. She now has her 2 serves to come.
4-1.
Again, the float service. The service with no spin, short to the forehand of Jeon, who stepped in, lifted what she thought was backspin off the end of the table. 4-1.
Four.
Ishikawa there playing into the body of Jeon and then switching it out wide to the backhand. Good tactics, 5-2. Well placed from Ishikawa into the body of Jeon. She wasn't sure whether to play backhand or forehand. Backhand topspin from Ishikawa just caught the top of the net, flicked it off the end of the table. 6-3, second serve for Ishikawa. The return from Jeon Ji-hee took Ishikawa by surprise. Floated through the air, no pace. Slightly fortunate. Ishikawa. The push just caught the top of the net, trickled over, gave Jeon Ji-hee no chance whatsoever. She thought the ball was coming long and fast, which he would have done had it not just caught the top of the net.
7-6.
But you have to say, at this point in time, in the close to the table counter-attacking rallies, Jeon is looking the favourite.
Let 7-6.
Seven points each. Again, Ishikawa led 4-1 in this fifth game. Jeon now has clawed her way back to 7 points each. Again, both players battling it out close to the table. Both refusing to back away from the table. The returner serve was slightly high from Ishikawa. Jeon was in, pounced on the opportunity with a strong topspin down the line into the backhand of Ishikawa. 8 points each. Ishikawa punching the air with delight. She's a determined teenager. She's going to fight in true Japanese style all the way. Backspin on the serve. Jeon not lifting the ball sufficiently, and now Ishikawa with 2 game points. And the strong forehand topspin from Ishikawa seals the fifth game by 11 points to 8. And this final now, very tight indeed. The number 1 seed, the holder of the title, is hanging on. 7-all in that fifth game, could have gone either way. Ishikawa was mentally strong, mentally tough at the end. Kept her nerve, won 11-8. But it's still Jeon Ji-hee, who we see here serving, who leads by 3 games to 2.
Now, coach, please.
Clear here, and the action replays. Both players refusing to give an inch. They're both staying close to the table.
Time, please. Please close it. Thank you.
So both players now back at the table. There we have confirmation of the situation in this women's singles quarterfinals. Jeon Ji-hee
16. Jeon to serve.
Leads by 3
Double.
games to 2, and will serve at the start of the 6th game.
Last one.
Backhand topspin down the line from Jeon. Just caught the leading edge of her racket, flew off the end. First point to Ishikawa. An uncharacteristic error from the number 9 player in the world. She's made a few errors against the slow ball. John came across to the middle of the table to return with the backhand. Flicked it out wide to Ishikawa's forehand. Interesting tactics. Seeing a little bit more of that in the modern game. Players coming across to return serves, even from the forehand side with the backhand. 2 points each. Great angles from John. The two extremes, out wide to the forehand and then out wide to the backhand. John just mistiming the forehand topspin, much to the delight of the Japanese player on the screen there. Good use of the wrist from Ishikawa, coming underneath the ball, accelerating through the point of contact, generating excessive spin. Into the body of Ishikawa. She ended up playing a forehand topspin from a very cramped position.
5.
Five points each. Halfway stage of the 6th game. Ishikawa apologising for her good fortune. A couple of net cords in that rally went her way. She leads 6-5, but it's John who leads by 3 games to 2. Best of 7 games, of course. First player to win 4 through to the semi-final. Ishikawa will be disappointed. The return was fairly close to the net, but it was quite high. She didn't quite get into position. She ended up playing that shot, stretching for the ball, lost control, made the error. 6 points each. Again, varying the pace, John. 7-6. Second serve coming up. Spun the ball to the middle of the table. Again, not a lot of pace on the ball. She brushed up the back of the ball, going more for spin than speed. Tactics were excellent. And Ishikawa now 6-8.
7-8.
John not quite reading the spin. Lifted what she thought was backspin. A little bit more side spin and very little backspin on the ball. So consequently the return went off the end of the table, and it's the Republic of Korea player who's called the timeout. She leads 8-7. And of course is 3 points away from a place in the semi-final. That will be her best performance ever in an ITTF Pro Tour event. And she would be achieving it in style, knocking out the number 9 ranked player in the world and the holder of this title. She's worked hard.
Time.
She's 3 points away from pulling off a major shock. Can she hold her nerve? We'll find out in the next minute or so.
Oh, pardon. 7-8.
Superb play by John, it has to be said. Spraying the ball around with that backhand. She's playing just that little bit more positive, that little bit more aggressive. 2 serves now to come for John. She leads 9-7. Good backhand down the line from John. She then followed in with the forehand topspin. She now has 3 match points, 10-7. What a point to win that quarter-final. Superb rally, but it was Jeon Ji-hee who came out on top. She takes the 6th game by 11 points to 7, and the teenager from the Republic of Korea has pulled off a major shock. She's knocked out the number 1 seed, she's knocked out the holder of this women's singles title, and she did it in style by 4 games to 2. She took Ishikawa on at her own game, stayed close to the table, was not afraid to take her on, counter-hitting and then getting in with the top spins, backhand and forehand when the opportunity arose. And there Ishikawa signs the score sheet. She'll be very disappointed, but I'm sure we'll see a lot more of the teenager from Japan, Kasumi Ishikawa, in the years to come. But there we have confirmation of the situation in this women's singles quarter-final. A surprise victory for the number 82 player in the world. And here she is in action with the high toss serve. And this is hallmarks of what we saw throughout the final. John staying up at the table, as being as positive as she can whenever she gets the opportunity, playing the angles wide to the forehand, and then it was the wide one into the backhand that won the point. And the number 82 ranked player in the world beats the number 9 ranked player in the world and takes her place in the lineup for tomorrow's semi-final. Super play by Jeon Ji-hee, and we'll just watch some more highlights from that quarter-final, and we'll be back soon for the second women's singles quarter-final, and we'll pick up commentary when that second quarter-final starts.